Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Gojira Gamer. I'm back for another video. Today I'll be starting a new series. It's going to be like an intro on how to play Magic the Gathering. So these videos are going to be good for those who don't know how to play the game or just are new to it, just want to learn, or if you already know how to play, you just want to make sure you're correct, or you just want to see how I'm correct. So there's going to be multiple parts to explain all the different aspects of Magic the Gathering. So for those who don't know, Magic the Gathering is a fantasy battling game. You try to bring your opponent's health from 20 to 0 using monsters and magic. So in this game, the best way to remember how much health you have is a 20-sided die, which has 20 sides because of the name. So I'm going to start off with the most important card that you need. It is a land card. These cards will produce mana, so then you can cast your spells and put down monsters. There are 5 kinds of basic lands, and each of them produce 1 color mana depending on what kind it is. So a plains will produce white mana, a mountain will produce red mana, a swamp will produce black mana, a forest will produce green mana, and an island will produce blue mana. So I have here a plains. It'll produce 1 white mana when you tap it or turn it sideways. A lot of cards tap in order to be able to activate abilities, stuff like that. So, also, cards have changed over the years. So, these are the 1990s, the late 1990s land, and this is a 2015 land. So you can see big difference. So, and then also, there are kind of lands that are not basic land, yet they still produce mana, like this one from the Guild of Ravnica set of 2018, the Golgari Guildgate. You can tap it, and it'll produce 1 black mana or 1 green mana. You can choose. So yes, they have different ones. Now, another important card is creatures. They are the main source of dealing damage to your opponent. They can have effects, which will be discussed later. So what I have here is the Siege Dragon from the 2014 core set. It's a rare, and it's flying, and over here you can see a mana cost, which means it'll cost 2 red mana, so 2 mountains, and 5 colorless mana, which means you can use any type of land, any type of mana to be able to pay that cost. Then over here we have this number / and then another number. The number on the left is the attack of the creature, and the number on the right is the health. And so if a creature has been dealt damage that is equal to or higher than its health, then of course it goes in your graveyard. And a creature usually has summoning sickness, which means that it cannot attack the turn you bring it out. You have to wait till your next turn. And also just saying that when you tap a card, you can't untap it or turn it back up until your next turn, at the beginning of your turn. And so, yes. Next we have an instant card. An instant card, of course, costs mana. It can be cast at any time during the game. So you can cast it during your turn, your opponent's turn, anything like that. And then after you play it, then it goes into the graveyard. So, but you can use it at any time. The sorcery is, in essence, it's really similar to it in the fact that it goes into your graveyard after using it. The only difference is that you can only play it on your turn, which means that could pose a few problems, maybe. Next card I have is an enchantment. An enchantment card, it stays on the field. It doesn't go away after you play it. It only goes away if a card effect destroys it, but it stays on the field. Like this one I have called Silk Wrap from 2015. The description says, when it enters the battlefield, exile target creature, or it's kind of like a second graveyard, but you can't bring things from it unless there's a specific card that says you can bring it from exile. But exile target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, so total mana cost 3 or less, an opponent controls until this card leaves the battlefield. So that's good. Next one I have is an aura. is basically the same thing as enchantment, except that it goes onto a creature instead of like just onto the battlefield. In the older sets, it's called enchant creature, but it's here it says like enchantment aura, then it says here enchant creature. So here is a token creature. These creatures can only be brought out by certain effects, and they don't actually go in your deck because, as you can see on the back, they don't have a usual card back. Like this is a normal card, and then you have that. But so yeah, you can bring it out using a specific card effect. And then here I have a double card. These cards, they have a lot of them in Dragon's Maze, which is a 2013 set. And if the card like says fuse, like this one, like right here, that means you can choose one of the card, one half, or you can play both of them as long as you have the right mana. But if it doesn't say that, then you have to pick one of these halves and then play that. So yeah, so I will be discussing more things in the next videos and the other videos following that one. So stick around if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, then you can. Well, see you later.